Here are the top 5 finance books that I found to be the most helpful and useful when it comes to new investors. The very first one is The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle. This has been very helpful in learning about mutual funds, stocks, index funds, and various things like that. It's very heavily analytical, so if you're someone who doesn't really like that kind of stuff, then I would probably avoid this book. But if you're someone who loves the numbers, the math, this book is perfect for you, especially if you're a newbie in investing. I really enjoyed this book because it introduced me to index funds, and it also showed the ugly truth of active managed funds and managers. And now the next one is A Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Now this is just for the average investor, the one who doesn't really care too much about the analytical part, doesn't really want to get too involved with investing, and just wants to set it and forget it, so to speak. It will give you those basic steps on just saving your money, investing in the basic index funds like the S&P 500, the total stock market, as well as the bond market. So if you're someone who just wants a basic, simple plan, this is the way to go. And I really liked this book because it made it simple. Of course, it's in the title, but honestly, a lot of these books become very complicated and can be very difficult to understand, but this book wasn't. Now the next one is A Millionaire Next Door, and I know this is a very popular book, but for those who haven't heard about it, it's basically talking about how someone who is wealthy saves their money, how they become wealthy, and that it's not the average person. They don't own a nice car, nice clothes, or a fancy watch. They own basic things. You would never expect them to actually be wealthy or have any money. And that's what its main focus is, so I definitely pick it up and read it if you have the chance. And so the fourth one is Quit Like a Millionaire by Christy Shen. Now this one isn't as popular as the first two I had talked about, but it's still just as important. And the reason why I like this book is because it related to the situation that I was in. Now the author talks about how she became wealthy, and she was originally an engineer, and she slowly built wealth as she learned about investing, and she had the goal of becoming financially independent by the time she was 30 or 35. Those are the same goals that I have currently. So this book really resonated with me personally because of that. If you're someone who is also in the same boat and wants to become financially independent or be able to retire early, then I definitely suggest picking up this book and reading it. And so the last one is one of the oldest, which is The Richest Man in Babylon. And this is great because it teaches you just how to save in general, at least 10% of your income.